Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here in game number 4 in our After Hours Gaming League set between Ernst & Young and Facebook. We've seen a couple of little back and forths there in the game number 1, and then of course we had to skip game number 2, unfortunately, just because of a player who was unable to show up at the time. And well, here in game number 4, it looks as if we are going to go into a PvP. So starting up at the top right-hand side of Cloud Kingdom, of course, a very popular map, is our blue Protoss player. They've switched colors, which is a little bit funny, but we've got our blue Protoss player for Ernst & Young. It is Cipro, and his opponent down at the bottom left-hand side is our red Protoss player. Playing for Team Facebook, he's going to have to win this one if he wants to even it up and give his team a chance. Otherwise, Ernst & Young is going to take a swift victory here. It is Winkletoss. Now, I have seen a game between Winkletoss, Winkletoss, and I can't remember who the other person was, but there was actually a pretty good game. If you want to go back through the archives, in the video archives at afterhoursgaming.tv, you can jump through, and I'm pretty sure that my pre-season match that I did a cast of is over there. So if you want to see Winkletoss in action in another game, you can always go and have a look at that. And of course, you can also go through the replays itself. We have the replays available for the AHGL Season 3. They're all available here. You should be able to see them on the individual pages for each individual set. And of course, please be sure to have a look and, you know, comment, share, subscribe, and all that cool stuff on the After Hours Gaming League. Things that are available on Twitter and Facebook, and of course on YouTube as well. So hopefully you've all been having fun watching through these 5 weeks of competition. Of course, we are getting very close to the playoffs, of course, starting in just at the start of March there, which is where we're going to have a lot of fun, of course, with the casting competition, which myself and all of the other folks are all part of here in this season, and hopefully it's going to be some really cool fun. So these guys have been starting off relatively standard for the time being. We've got Winkletoss with a Gate and the Cyber, and of course for Cipro, he has also got the same sort of thing running, except he's got his double gas up, and it was a little bit earlier than his opponent. So we may see some sort of tech coming out of Cipro a little bit earlier than his Facebook foe, and in fact it looks like Cipro is going to steal the gas. So he's taken his opponent's second gas for now, which is actually a little bit annoying. It's sort of, it's hard to, you know, I think someone, who was it, I think Apollo? Someone along those lines had actually once said, if your opponent hasn't taken the second gas when you take yours, make sure you take it, because it's incredibly frustrating to deal with someone who has stolen your gas, and especially when you do what Winkletoss has done and scout through and see that your opponent has both of their gas. So not only can you not steal theirs, but you know that they're going to have a lot more gas available to use a lot quicker than you will, which can be a sign of things to come. So we'll keep an eye on that. Of course, it looks like the first zealot that came out from Winkletoss has come across and is going to try and get rid of that assimilator as quickly as possible, and the Stalker going to help out with that effort as well. So it will be a quick robo facility here. Of course, you can get a robo and still continue to get units out even if you only have 1 gas. There are even from time to time, in fact we're not going to see it here, but there has been a couple of 1 gate 1 gas expands in PvP. Now the reason you can do that, of course, is due to the mothership core. You can utilize the photon overcharge to power up your Nexus and turn it into a giant cannon, which can be quite formidable to deal with. It's like having your own Death Star down at the natural, and it can be very, very difficult to deal with if you're trying to attack into something like that. We do have a difference in the play yet again though, and there you go, the magic of Blizzard with Heart of the Swarm. As you can see, they replaced each other, not replaced each other, but they replaced themselves. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a lag out in the first attempt at playing this game. So Cipro, I think, fell out of the game, but we have resumed from replay. Everybody cheer. I'm sure you were all cheering at that, the idea of that. And it looks like, yep, with the first little attack here, Cipro is able to block out his Winkletoss from getting up the ramp. There were only a couple of gates back home. In fact, there's only 1 gate and it wasn't even ready. So that was a little bit of some sort of faux pressure there from Winkletoss, just trying to make it look like he is going for a big 4-gate attack here. He does actually lose the Stalker that was up the top of the ramp. Look at that debris falling down the bottom. Very cute. But the one Zealot that was there is not able to get inside. The force fields are blocking him out completely. And, well, you know, Cipro may be thinking here, well, what was all that about? That was a little bit odd. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Phoenix and then even an Oracle as well to go across to his opponent's base, try and find out what's going on down here. And once he gets here, he is going to see that there are 3 gates, of course, a Robo facility as well. The first Immortal has popped out now, and it looks like there is that natural with the Mothership Core also coming up. So there is quite a difference in the way these guys are playing. We've got a much safer, but there is a little bit more potential in the build from Cipro to get some harassment done, whereas his opponent has a very safe expansion-based build. He's got the 3 gates up now, which will help him in getting all of his units out. The one thing I'm a little bit concerned about is the gas coming in. There is very little right now. I'm not sure if he's aware that the second gas has not finished up. Sorry, it has not got the 3 workers in it. But as we can see, a couple of Phoenix are coming out, has been scouted by Winkletos, so he knows that something is going to be coming along to harass his worker line, whether it be an Oracle or a few Phoenix. And it looks like the Oracle is going to be first in the mix here, just flying through, going to smash that C button, and then go to town on some of these probes. We got 1, 2, 3. We've also got 4, possibly 5, if he can target a couple of them down, hold position maybe. Does take a couple of shots, and unfortunately, he is not able to finish off that a couple more of those probes, but he does get down here into the natural. We get a couple more shots, but now the energy has mostly been depleted on this Oracle, so that will be the end of that for now. And as we can see, Cipro, yet again, as I said, we got some good potential in this build. It's just that he's sort of going to be a little bit behind in his expansion here, which may cost him later on. The worker count at the moment, currently sitting at 27 to 29. So the Oracle, while it did get a couple of kills, you know, it got 6 kills, well, there have been 6 worker kills in total. It's not as if that is going to make a big difference right as of now, because his opponent has, of course, got the second Nexus, which is going to help out with building up that probe supply yet again. So the initial harassment from Cipro has been well deflected by Winkletos. We can now see Cipro has gone up to 5 gates. We've also got a couple of those Phoenix there as well. The expansion is also getting started. Now, this is the thing about this particular map, of course. You have to be very careful with your positionings of these units to defend against Stargate-based incursions. Of course, the Phoenix can just come straight across, jump on a couple of the probes, take them out. Maybe even if you were to just take out a couple of the probes that were in the gas there, that would also help out. And as we can see, the Oracle going for another shot inside the main base, but not really getting a massive amount done. In fact, didn't even get a single kill there. The Phoenix now coming about, trying to have a quick look at what's going on. I've found that the expansion is up and alive and kicking, but Winkletos, yet again, is on the ball, able to defend against that relatively easily. Now, let's talk about PvP in Heart of the Swarm. These guys, the Void Rays, have become a very big talking point. Of course, they have their additional bonus damage to armored units. What is armored in the Protoss army, you ask? Well, Stalkers, Colossi, the majority of all the forces that Protoss have. So adding in that extra DPS, which I must tell you, as a person who does meching Terran, it is actually quite a lot of damage when there are some Void Rays out on the field. But Void Rays are swiftly becoming one of the go-to units in this particular matchup. Of course, they deal with Immortals easily because, well, last time I checked, Immortals can't shoot up unless you tip them over, and that sort of gives you a really good advantage, and it helps you deal with Stalkers in a way. And for the moment, it looks like Cipro is going to go for that mixture. We've got double Stargates now. He's got +1 on his weapons already done, which is an interesting little upgrade to see in this matchup. Of course, unless you watch, you know, some games from Puck or even myself on my stream, it's rare to see Protoss actually take up air weapons unless you're in Heart of the Swarm. But as we can see, we are going to go to that air tech in this game, and it should be very, very interesting to see how Winkletos deals with this. Now, he is going for a blink-based play. We've already got a few of those Stalkers out there. Around about, there's 8 out on the map at a minimum. There are a couple more that I think are about to warp in as well. He does have a couple back at home, but Blink is about to finish, and things are going to get very interesting because we've now got 6 gates, I should say, for Winkletos, which is going to allow him to warp in an absolute plethora of Stalkers, and he is going to do just that, warping in a couple more there right now. And this is going to be the interesting part, because the Phoenix are not going to be too useful in this situation. situation. Normally, in defense, Phoenix can be marginally useful if the attack consists of things like Immortals and such. But in this attack, we're going to have mostly these Stalkers. And where is the high ground vision? It looks like we don't actually have any high ground vision at the moment for Winkletos. He is just going to continually build pylons, able to resupply himself as he walks along. This is just out of the range of Cipro's units, and he's going to see all these Stalkers come in and be a little bit worried. Not necessarily hugely worried, of course, as we said before. With the Prismatic Alignment activating, these Void Rays now do a brilliant amount of damage. That is 17 at when they've got their alignment charged up. You do have to be careful though, because there is a slight cooldown on that. It's got about a 60-second cooldown, I think it is. Yeah, 60 seconds from the time of activation on that Prismatic Alignment. And Winkletos is not done. He's coming back in. He's got, is that his own Mothership Core there? No, it's not. Wait, yes it is. So the Mothership Core goes down. We got more Stalkers now warping in. This is a bit of a problem here for Cipro. He has no real good resupply here, and with no Immortals on the ground, he's going to have a very hard time trying to defend this with just a single Void Ray. And I tell you what, despite the best intentions of the build there from Cipro, going for something a little bit more HOTS modern, if you will, he is unable to defend against that. There are just too many Stalkers coming in. 6 gates with Blink. No upgrades, of course, but that is not to worry too much, because if you've got a little bit of micro, then these should do quite fine. So he comes in and is going to be able to destroy the last remaining Void Ray, or in fact there are 2 remaining Void Rays trying to power up and take down these few Stalkers that are left over, but it is just too much. It is already too little too late now for Cipro, and it looks as if we will be indeed going to an ace match very, very shortly. The last Void Ray goes down, the Phoenix up in the air, doing their best before they have to rise from the ashes again, and Winkletos is going to take this win. So we will move into game number 5, the ace match in this set between Ernst & Young and Facebook, and we will get to that one in just a moment.